Hey guys, today I'm going to be climbing outside for the first time. I'm at the very appropriately named Powerlinez rock climbing area in New York. The first thing I noticed is that it's hard to warm up when you're outside. You kind of just have to find things to pull on. I try to use this big jug to warm up my hands and my heel hooks. My goal is to climb a V3 today. I climb around V5 in my gym, but I know outdoor grades are significantly harder, and on top of that, my gym grades super softly. How hard will I end up climbing? Stay tuned and find out. I start off with this V0 Plus called High Heel. You start on the edge of the boulder and traverse your way up to the apex. I immediately noticed that it was hard to find footholds. Indoors, they're brightly colored and obvious. The vertical part of this edge didn't feel great. So I had to make a bigger move to the top where it flattens out. Then you throw in a high heel hook and top out. It definitely lives up to its name. I move on to this V1 called Godzilla. You start on the left side of the rock and go straight up until you're under the giant boulder. Then you go to the right and top out on top of the boulder. Another thing I noticed is that it's hard to find the good parts of holds outside. There are chalk marks, but the good parts actually tend to be small, in-cut edges that you really have to feel around for. I reach the top edge, but I decide not to top out because of how high the boulder is. I move on to this V3 called Monkey. It's a traverse with a nice shelf to hold and heel hook. Some of my friends fell on this climb because they got too pumped, so I tried to go as fast as possible.
Come on!
And I'm able to flash my first V3 outside.
I gotta run. I look up, he's like,
I move on to this V3 called Kata number 4. The first move is a match on a jug. Then, you bicycle the start hold and make a dynamic move to a notch. I practice the dynamic move since that's the hardest part. get the dynamic move, so now it's time to try the top out. And now, it's time to try from the beginning.
Look at the flexibility.
Oh god.
You saw how quick
He
he
doing
got.
his mobility drills crazy.
You be opening up.
Jump hips is open.
That's my favorite YouTuber, man.
Yo.
Hell yeah. Olive.
I got my notifications fucking on.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
you can notification bell, bro. I can't wait for this fucking video.
What's
to come
going
out.
on, guys? Make sure you hit that subscribe and that little bell on the top. Make sure you click it, bro.
Dang, that's fire.
And I'm able to send another V3 on my third attempt. I move on to this V4/V5 called Insect Repellent. It starts off the same as the last climb, but instead of the notch, you have to go to this awful little slopey crimp. I try moving from the crimp since that's the hardest part. You're supposed to match on the crimp, but I try to go straight to the top edge and almost make it. You're supposed to get a heel hook and kind of use the side of your heel and press your foot down to the left.
I remember when he first did a time when he was starting on the V0.
Cannot keep my feet.
It's like, yo, I'd be so proud.
I try to match with the toe hook instead of a heel hook and then use the swing to get my right hand up, but I can't coordinate it. We move to another area, accurately named Snake Hole. I try this V2 named Arbok. You go straight up until the big crack. Once you're standing on the crack, you go right and top out. There's a V0 version called Ekans if you skip the first move. I missed the first move just mirroring with low feet. I try with a higher right foot and the move becomes a lot easier. I wouldn't say adding that one move turns the V0 into a V2, but hey, I messed it up the first time, so maybe I'm wrong. I move on to this V3 called Top Shelf Traverse. You start on the left and make your way right on a good shelf, a decent crack, and then follow the same top out as Ekans and Arbok. I'm feeling good up until I get my right hand in the crack and have to get around the corner. It feels super slopey and I can't commit to bringing my left hand over. Someone told me I had to get my hands deeper. It felt better, like a crack for your fingers. But I was a bit scared about what could happen if I fell with my fingers jammed in there. Luckily, I'm able to finish another V3. I move on to another V3 called Top Shelf. We start on the lower rail and make a big move to a crimp. Then, you have to get on the shelf and mantle up. The top out is super slopey though. You're basically relying entirely on one leg. I have a crazy idea of getting my left foot in this crack and using it to get to the crimp. I thought I was low enough to the ground, but I took a pretty nasty fall, and I'm lucky that I didn't mess up my foot. I tried the second half of the boulder to see what the top out is like. You can see me slapping the rock up there because there's absolutely nothing. At best, you can generate some friction with your hands and forearms. I wonder if I could have gotten my right foot up, or... Here's a little bonus V2 called Tilt-A-Whirl. It has a match start on the lip with a heel hook. Then you rock over the heel and reach for a tiny crimp in the crack. The rest of the climb is so slabby that you could just walk up. I sent it, but the footage isn't good because there are some people blocking me, so enjoy these falls. But that's going to be the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed my first time climbing outside. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!